Welcome back to my channel, brothers and sisters. I'm your host, MODISE The High King, and on today's video, family, feelings of the African National Congress in alliance with the Democratic Alliance is hitting nerves. You are having people who are old enough to have been there in the dark days, lived long enough to see their beloved political party turn on its core ideals, betray what it once stood for, was once represented as Nelson Mandela's grand political party that delivers South Africans from white supremacist evil to the new democracy. But the fact is, family, ANC is not what it once was. It is old, it is tired, and it is doing old, tired things. Marriage of conveniences and just sheer weakness, if you ask me. And it's funny because, as I stated in my previous video, which for some reason is not doing so well, maybe it's just that bad, who knows? Everyday people are scratching their heads in South Africa about how this sort of thing came to be. Naturally, it makes perfect sense when you consider the history of South Africa's efforts to de-dollarize, the BRICS alliance, taking is not real to the ICJ, and then letting America know and UK that they're next on the list. No, they let us know that they were not pleased with that, and that we were targeted for interference politically, as some analysts said. And here we are today, whereby the ANC chose to sign a deal with the Democratic Alliance, which is a modern-day representation of the National Party, which was the party of the apartheid government. White supremacy, representing white interests. And to be so different in terms of ideals and still trying to deal with them, because one is pro-Palestine, the other one is pro-Israel. Already there's a conflict of interest right there. One is pro-black-owned business, the other one is pro-business in general, Western capitalism. As South Africa, we're trying to move away from Western policies and Western financial institutions and all of that. And here comes the Democratic Alliance wanting to be extra chummy with them. And so here we are today with people's in a situation they cannot control, whereby their elected powers have chosen to get into a situation with the number one opposition, the opposition in a black country. We were once living under the brutal regime of the apartheid masters. We are now about to witness the party that delivered us from evil hop into bed, the modern-day incarnation of said evil. ANC members burn their ANC regalia and resign amid ANC and DA marriage. Because the feelings are feeling, family. Where everyday South Africans are frustrated because, again, we can recognize the signs of political interference and Western interference. Efforts to force regime change into a Western aligned government are well underway, and they've been underway. And the best that we can do now is ride the wave and remind ourselves who we once were and who we must be again as Black South Africans. Where we were in the struggle for freedom, how we understood who the real enemy was, and how we have forgotten. And perhaps this is the right shock to the system that modern day South Africans needed. To remind us who the real enemy is, that we've never been free. Because no matter who we vote for, Stellenbosch wins. The Stellenbosch Mafia. White monopoly capital. They've been running this country, and they are trying to continue to run this country. But let's see what the man had to say. Watched this clip yesterday, but I think it'll be beautiful to share it as well today. A promise is a promise.
Hi fam, our latest will be about some of the ANC members that are banning their regalias. Let's follow up on that. It seems like there is dissatisfaction among ANC members following the agreement between the Liberation Movement and the DA, Government of National Unity. Some of the ANC members feel that the ANC has lost its touch, it's no longer following its principles and values, and marginalized people are no longer prioritized. Members feel that the party has become self-entitled and focused on self-enrichment. Some members are even banning their regalias. Listen to this man on the next slide and let us know of your take regarding what he said. And that's all we have for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you again next time. Bye.
My name is Chippy Sheikh.
He's a colored man. If you don't know the story or history of the colored community, that's okay. You don't have to. I would recommend you Google it. But yeah, he seems like a very melanated man. I saw a comment suggesting he's a milkman, but no, I don't think he is. He don't. No, he not. He's Cape Townian, bro. He's from
active ANC
He's from Cape Town.
member from the age of 24 years old. I'm now 64 years old. Sheikh. My name is Chippy Sheikh. I have been an active ANC member from the age of 24 years old. I'm now 64 years old this year, which means I have spent the last 40 years of my adult life promoting, supporting the ideals of the African National Congress as espoused in the Freedom Charter. I was first arrested in 1985, then again in 1987 for opposing the apartheid government at the time. I spent almost 2 years in solitary confinement, just over 5 prisons in South Africa, namely Durban Central Police Station, Westville Maximum Prison, Brits Police Station, Pretoria East Police Station, and Piet Retief Police Station. I was never charged. I have always voted for the ANC from the very first democratic election in 1994 till the present election in May 2004. I voted African National Congress. I made a promise to my ANC colleagues that should the ANC government go into a coalition with the Democratic Alliance, that I will publicly burn my ANC t-shirt at the disgust of such a decision. For me to watch the DA John Steenhuisen gloat on national television about returning to government and about making a change in the South African government system is just too much for me and millions like me to bear.
And that is the main topic, isn't it? At the end of the day, the DA is what it is at its core. The ANC is what it is at its core, right? You cannot expect majority of the peoples in that organization to just be okay with this marriage of convenience.
I also know that the DA publicly supports the murderous Zionist regime of Israel that murders and butchers thousands and thousands of innocent Palestinian children, mothers and fathers. I cannot betray my soul. I cannot betray my heritage, nor the blood that runs in my veins. So today, I will burn the ANC t-shirt in public as promised. After 40 years with the African National Congress, I will become now a political orphan with no political identity. I can only wish all South Africans all of the best for the envisaged future. Thank you. Here's my promise that I have kept to my ANC colleagues, that I will no more support the ANC's ideas. As espoused in the Freedom Charter, no more applies. There is no more Freedom Charter. There is no more black aspiration. There is no more black liberation. There are no more black ideals.
Everything is non-racialism, multiracialism, even though we are a very deeply racialized country. Inequality in this place is black and white. We are landless, jobless, do not have connection or control over our own mineral exploits. And the blacks have gotten poorer, the whites have gotten richer. Black consciousness is all but disappeared. That's why on my channel we focus so heavily on resurrection of the very mind and spirit that liberated our people.
This country will be controlled and managed. This country will be controlled and managed by the huge business corporations of South Africa. White corporations, business corporations. It will not be a country that respects black ideals.
Like I said, the Democratic Alliance is pro-business, and the business sector, the private sector, has came up with a statement supporting the Fitch declaration that they are in support of an ANC-DA coalition that we covered. No, I haven't covered that video yet. I think I will do it probably tomorrow. But I did mention it in my previous video.
I thank you once again, ANC, for the wonderful years we spent together. But our relationship has come to an end.
Time to let old things go. Yeah, time to let old things go, man. ANC sellouts, just nonsense. ANC made a grave mistake. Maybe the worst mistake ever since it was formed. History will surely judge them harshly. Oh yes, indeed. The problem Ramaphosa doesn't care. Let's act. RIP ANC Ramaphosa has sold out. Well done, Chippy. Did our ancestors suffer for this? Shame on the ANC. There is a special place in hell for sellouts and traitors to the liberation movement. What type of democracy does SA have after voting ANC out? ANC still rules. It's apparently it's not even technically a democracy, it's some type of a republic with limited democratic ideals. But that's the world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. South Africa is changing in a lot of ways. In other ways, it's always been the same, right? What's going on can be seen and understood as a plan that has been long in the making, right? What they agreed upon at the so-called Codesa agreements, the sunset clause, that you will give white people time to give up their racism, the wealth that they had illegally gained. But in all their years, they have not done these things. They have only gotten richer. And here we are. They sought power and support from the international community. They kept flying to America routinely. And now all of a sudden, exactly what we were told to expect by analysts after the International Criminal Court case against Israel, that indeed South Africa is being targeted for interference politically by outside forces. And here we are. Democratic Alliance, which is being referred to by the BBC as a white-led. They made sure to focus on that. Nevertheless, family, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm your host, MODISE The High King. I will see you in the next one. Stay black conscious. Peace.